Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my second video today, previewing some silly matches that you really shouldn't be watching. I mean, why? What's the point? Typical reaction, right? To people who don't understand? Yeah? Just me? Oh, okay. In this video, I'm going to be analyzing NiP versus LDLC, a new look LDLC. Very different from the one we've been seeing before, and I'll get to that in a second. Before we get started, I have to put this out there. What you are doing is effectively gambling, and even though I am giving advice on how to gamble, I am in no way responsible for anything you do, any actions you perform with regards to betting, whether you win, whether you lose. So please do not blame me. Most importantly, please do not use my advice as the only piece of advice that you take on board before you go to bet. Please get your information from a lot of different sources. I recommend Arabian King on Reddit. I've seen his analysis, it's really good. Please bet safe, bet responsibly, and most importantly, have fun. This is meant to be a fun exercise, and please don't take it too seriously. It's just not worth the hassle, and you know, this community is really small and really great right now, and the only way it's going to get bigger is if all of you guys are friendly and amicable and, you know, very cooperative towards each other. Alright, the boring stuff out of the way. Let's get to it. Today's odds, if you look on CSGO Lounge, the odds currently say, as of this recording, 55 to 45 to LDLC. Going over to HLTV, as of recording, the odds currently say 63 to 37 to LDLC. Why are the odds like this? Well, let's have a look at the facts. This is definitely the first matchup between these two. So looking at their history, there really isn't a point. I mean, we can look back over history and see all the games that NiP have played LDLC, but that was before Cologne, before the massive shakeup in French CS, so it really doesn't apply, and therefore all that data is effectively useless. LDLC themselves, the organization, completely disbanded their previous CSGO team. I think it got a lot to do with the fact that they had a very poor showing at Cologne. So they recruited Shox, Kiyoshima, Happy, NBK, and Smiths. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Smiths was already there, and the new boys are Kiyoshima, Happy, NBK, and Shox. You look at this team, and you'd be scared. Definitely the strongest team on paper in France, and maybe, just maybe, one of the strongest teams in the world right now. Of course, second only to Fnatic, because have you seen Fnatic recently? Their phone has been incredible. They ripped apart NiP just today, 2-0. in a best of 3. One of the maps was 16-0. So on current form, Fnatic, I think very few would disagree they are the best team in the world, but on paper, this LDLC squad are championship contenders. Looking at NiP's lineup, it's the same as the championship winning lineup. Same lineup that has been incredibly shaky these last few matches. How they're going to perform today is going to be dependent on how they perform against HR. Personally, I think they'll do quite well against HR. As of this recording, they haven't actually played them. I think NiP should take HR pretty comfortably. They do quite well against tier 2 teams, but against a strong team like, you know, like Virtus.pro or Fnatic, they tend to struggle, and LDLC are more than a strong team. They are a very capable team. But will they deliver against NiP? Well, let's have a look at what they've been doing so far. This new look LDLC have only played 2 games, both against challenger contender, the tier 2 teams like Dignitas and Hellraisers, but against both teams, their outcome was 16-11, which is a pretty solid showing. Looking at the statistics, looking more in depth about these matches, Shox top fragged against both those teams. He top fragged against Dignitas and against HR, whilst Kiyoshima had the least deaths and had the near identical KD to Shox. I would highlight those two, Shox and Kiyoshima, to be the players to watch in this match. I mean, Shox, just for being Shox, you know, definitely one of the best players in the world right now. And Kiyoshima, just because he seems to be in his groove right now. He seems to be liking his new environment, his new team. You know, he has a great team chemistry with Shox. I mean, those two really made Epsilon what they were. They really have good team chemistry. Expect that to continue against NiP. Let's talk about the intangibles, the perceptions. NiP have not been convincing at all, and anybody says they are is either an NiP fanboy or lying. Fnatic dragged them face first against the dirty frickin' floor, wiping them left, right, and center, wiping them clean. Just today, 2-0. I thought this was going to be a close game, and it turned out to be anything but. It was, for lack of a better word, they got completely wrecked. As it stands right now, I think it's pretty safe to say they're vulnerable. Whereas LDLC, I mean, they're only 2 games in. We've only seen them for a collective, 120 minutes? So we don't really know what they're truly capable of. We haven't really seen their potential. We haven't really seen much of how they act as a team. But most people have faith in them to wipe up NiP, you'll see the odds are quite skewed on HLTV, simply because LDLC do have the stronger lineup. And like I said on the other video, just because something looks a certain way doesn't mean it has to be a certain way. No, I would throw caution to the wind because of that, but on current form, LDLC are stronger than NiP. That is a fact. As it stands right now, I'd say it's a medium to high risk. We don't know if NiP is going to continue on this downward spiral or not. They're definitely in decline, I have no doubt about that, and I think their performance is going to come down to a lot how they perform against Hellraisers. I mean, if they wipe them off the floor, like, 16-6 or 16-7, then I think they'll be in pretty good shape to face LDLC. Whereas if they have a close game like 16-12, 16-11, or even 16-14, or if it goes to overtime or something like that, then LDLC should be pretty much solid to win this. My bet, I'm going to be betting a small to medium on LDLC. When I say small to medium, I mean anywhere between 25 to 35% of your inventory value. Maybe 30-cent skins, 60-cent skins. If you have a great inventory, like an $800 inventory, then do the maths. What's 25% of 800? That's $200. Go ahead, bet $200 on LDLC. But don't come after me if you actually do that and you lose. That's your fault, not mine. To summarize, I think this game is going to be a medium to high risk, favoring LDLC small to medium, mainly because CSGO Lounge odds as they stand right now. Also because I'm quite curious to see how they perform, because we really haven't seen a lot of them recently. That's it for this video. Obviously, I have to say it one more time. Please bet safe, bet responsibly. Even though I'm giving you advice to gamble, I'm not responsible for your actions towards gambling. I'm not responsible for any skins that you lose or win should you choose to place a bet based solely off my advice. That's not my responsibility, that is yours entirely. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, and please comment below with what you think was really good about this video and also what you thought was really crappy about this video, if there was any. I'll try and do a video nearly every day. There's a lot of matches, I have a life, I have a job. That said, I hope to keep doing this regularly. If you subscribe, hopefully, I'll see you in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy.